All right, let's talk about something I'm pretty sure we've all wanted to do. Take our favorite phone apps and just break them free from that tiny screen and let them loose on our laptops. So, how do we actually make that happen?
I mean, come on, you've been there, right? You're typing out a long message, or you're so close to beating that level in a game, and all you can think is, man, I wish I had a real keyboard for this. Or just a screen that doesn't require a magnifying glass. Well, guess what? That's not just a wish anymore.
So, why even bother? Well, the reasons are actually super practical. You get a bigger screen, which means your eyes will thank you. You get to use a physical keyboard and mouse, a total game changer for, well, pretty much everything. Multitasking becomes a real thing you can do. And for those marathon gaming or work sessions, it's just way more comfortable. But the biggest win? You finally get to use all those apps that, for some crazy reason, still don't have a proper desktop version.
Okay, let's get into the how. You might be thinking this sounds like some super complicated tech wizardry, but honestly, it's gotten way easier over the years. We're going to walk through the 4 main ways you can get this up and running today.
Now hold on. Before we dive in, I need to make one thing perfectly clear. There is no magic one-size-fits-all answer here. The best method for you is going to depend entirely on what kind of laptop you're working with and what you actually plan to do with these apps.
So let's think of this as a little matchmaking session. We're going to look at all the options, and by the end, you'll know exactly which one is the right fit for you. Let's find your perfect match.
First up is the most common, most popular choice for a reason: Android emulators. If you've got a Windows PC or a macOS laptop, this is almost definitely going to be your starting point. So, what in the world is an emulator? It sounds technical, I know, but the idea is actually really simple. It's just a piece of software that basically creates a virtual Android phone right on your laptop. It emulates an Android device, letting your computer pretend it's a phone.
And getting started is super easy. Seriously, you just install the program, sign in with your Google account, just like setting up a new phone, and then boom, you open the Play Store that's already there and start downloading whatever you want. It's that simple.
So is an emulator for you? Well, it's perfect for most Windows and Mac users. It's a dream for gaming with a keyboard, and the setup is a piece of cake. The catch? It can be a little hungry for your computer's resources, especially RAM and CPU. Also, some high-security apps, like your banking app, might refuse to run on it. For the best experience, you'll really want at least 8 gigs of RAM and an SSD.
Okay, on to our second option. Now, if you're a Chromebook user, you're in luck. This is hands down the easiest and most integrated way to do it. No fuss, no muss.
The secret sauce here is that it's all built in. Modern Chromebooks literally just have the Google Play Store ready to go. There's no extra software needed, you just download and run. The performance is usually fantastic. The only things to watch out for are that not all models, especially older ones, support it, and sometimes you'll find an app that looks a little weird on a big screen.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. We're heading into the deep end now with option 3, the Android Studio emulator. This one is really for the developers and the serious tech enthusiasts out there. So this is the official tool Google gives to people who actually build Android apps. It's amazing for testing your code or pretending you have a very specific phone model. But for just playing a game, it's complete overkill. It's a huge resource hog, the setup is way more involved, and it's just not meant for casual everyday use.
And that brings us to our fourth and final option, one that's specifically for the Linux crowd: Waydroid. If raw speed and performance are what you're after, you're going to want to pay attention to this.
The way Waydroid works is actually really clever. Instead of creating a whole separate virtual phone, it runs Android inside a lightweight container, sharing the core parts of your Linux system. The result? It's fast, like really fast, almost as if the apps were made to run there. But, and this is a big but, you absolutely need to be comfortable using the Linux command line to install it. This is not for beginners.
So now you know the 4 main paths, but picking the right software is just one part of the puzzle. Let's talk really quickly about what kind of hardware you need and some simple tricks to make sure everything runs nice and smooth.
A quick look at this chart tells you pretty much everything. For just running some basic apps, 8 gigs of RAM and an SSD will do the trick. If you're a gamer or a multitasker, you really want to be looking at 16 gigs of RAM. And for developers, yeah, 16 gigs is the minimum. But you see the one thing they all have in common? An SSD. Seriously, don't even try this on an old spinning hard drive. It makes a night and day difference.
And here are some rapid-fire tips. If things feel slow first, close other big programs you've got running. See if you can give the emulator more RAM in its settings.
Make sure your graphics drivers are up to date. And for goodness sakes, don't try to run 2 emulators at once. When all else fails, you know the drill. A simple restart can work wonders.
So as we wrap this up, let's zoom out for a second. This whole thing isn't just about playing a mobile game on a bigger screen. It's about totally rethinking what your laptop can do. It's your laptop, but reimagined.
And I think this quote just says it all. It doesn't matter which of these methods you pick, the end goal, the result, is always the same. You get more flexibility, you get more comfort, and you just get plain more out of the computer you already own.
Which really just leaves one last question. Now that you know how to do it, what's the very first app you're going to fire up on your laptop? Thanks so much for tuning in.